Okay. Now that Joan gave you all my tips, I was going to give you, no, I'm just kidding. So for those of you who don't know me, which is awesome because we have a ton of newbies that are getting started. Shout out to my sister. So a little about me is I work in healthcare finance. So I'm the finance manager at pharmacy in a hospital in Maine. I work 40 to 50 hours a week. I'm a new mom to my son, Micah, who is 8 months old, and I'm a wife. I'm a 5-star diamond lifetime coach and recently went into 6-star qualification. I've been a coach for 6 years as of like a couple of weeks ago, which is so freaking crazy. And I have made Success Club for 73 months consecutively. So since I signed up to coach. And I don't say this to brag or boast or anything like that. It's just to show you that even the busiest of people can be successful in this business if they want to be. I know people that are way busier than me, who have more children than I do, who have become more successful than me in less time. So it's really all about what your goals are and making sure that the action that you're putting in every day is aligning with whatever your personal goals are for yourself. And to kind of show the value of why making Success Club is so important, and which I'm going to talk a little bit about how to finish the month strong and all that stuff. But also just kind of wanted to briefly touch on some questions I've been getting lately and kind of what's been working well for me. So the question I've been getting so much lately is how do you fit it all into your busy schedule, and how do you find the balance between working your business, being present in your life, working your full-time job, etc. And probably the first piece of advice I'll give that I definitely didn't do in the beginning, so learn from my mistake, is communicating. Communicating with your husband, communicating with your family, and really setting a schedule for you that's going to work best for everybody to get you on board with a good schedule that's going to allow you to put time into your business. And I personally, I know not everybody does this, but I set business hours, but it's something that I can shoot for every night. I know Micah goes to sleep at 8 o'clock. And so every night from 8 to 11, I can sit down and unplug and solely focus on my Beachbody business. I know other coaches set pockets of, or work their business in pockets of time throughout the day. If that works better for you, definitely do that. But for me, I know that nobody's going to bug me between 8 to 11, and I will be the most productive during that time. And then I am very intentional with my time. So I still 6 years into this business, I print off that activity, Success Club activity tracker, and I follow it every single day. So I set timers. I got that from Meg, which has been so helpful because I was somebody who, if somebody messaged me back, I would instantly get so excited and want to respond to them. And it would kind of delay me finishing all of the daily tasks that I needed to accomplish. And so I set timers, and if I'm inviting, then even if I get a message back, or even if I want to move on to something else, until that timer goes off, I am solely inviting. And then obviously setting timers for all of the other things on the tracker as well has been key for me lately. And then when you're not working, this is still a work in progress, but try to stay off your phone, because I know for me, when I'm just on my phone all day long, plus I'm sitting down to work at night, I'm like, oh my God, I'm always working. Or you're like, shouldn't I have more people signed up? I'm literally working all day. It's like, are you really working all day, or are you scrolling and messaging your friends and talking to other people? So that's something that's been working for me too, is because now I'm even more intentional with my time. If I'm only working 8 to 11, then I know that I only have that amount of time to work my business. And again, makes me just a little bit more productive. And I already really touched on that, but be okay with not responding right away. Just because somebody says that they're interested, but you're in the middle of something else, don't lead with that energy like, oh, I need to message them right back or else they're going to disappear. Like, just trust that they reached out to you for a reason, they go back to you for a reason, and they're going to be there when you go to respond to them. But I do make a note to empty my inbox every single night. So it's not like I'm going to let them sit there for days on end. I do make sure that I message back within the day, but it doesn't have to be on their time. And other things that have been working well for me lately, this one seems kind of silly and easy, but setting goals. It's something that for whatever reason I got away from. I was just kind of like, oh, I just want to work from a place of joy and just do what I want to do. And you can still work from a place of joy and set goals and push harder in your business. And so that's something that I've been doing. Setting SMART goals, and so making sure they're specific, like whether it be rank, whether it be income, whatever your goals are, be very specific about what you want to reach, and make sure that you're measuring those goals and making sure that obviously they're realistic, attainable, and then set a time limit. So at the beginning of the first quarter, I looked at my downline and I looked at who I had as building coaches. I looked at the accounts that I had control over, and I said, like, I will be a 6-star diamond coach by May 20th, 2020. And, or I will go into qualification. And with that, mapping out your downline so that you can measure it every single day has been huge. Like I did this when I went 5-star, and it just helps so much to push your business. Like even if you're a brand new coach right now, print off one of those diamond tracker charts, fill in the holes or fill in the names with who you have now. And then that way, every time you sit down to work your business, you know what you need. You know what your next goal is. You know how many people you need to rank advance or to get to your next goal. So mapping out your downline every single day, looking at it has been key for me. And then taking the time to spend visualizing your long-term goals with your family. And this is something that I didn't really do. Like I had a strong why, but I thought like all the visualizing and all that stuff, like I'm an action-oriented person and I didn't have time to visualize or meditate or do all those things. But the more I've done them lately and actually talking to your family about it, talking to your husband about it, and seeing what dreams they have and actually attaching a feeling to it. Like, how is it going to feel when you wake up at that camp on that lake with your kids and inviting your family and your friends over? I feel like once you attach that emotion to how that's going to feel, it helps you push harder in your business. And something that I was told, or I learned at New Leaders Conference when I went a few years ago, is one of the coaches, I think it was like Ashley Smith or something, she said, when you want to give into your excuses, when you're tired, when you want to give up, look at your family, look at your kids. It might sound harsh, but be like, you're not worth it. Like I would rather sleep than take you to Disney every year, or I would rather this than give you a life that's beyond our wildest dreams. And I feel like for a while I never connected with that, but like since having Micah and things like that, it makes it a lot harder to be like, oh, I need to go to bed. Like sleep is more important than giving you a life that we're going to love. So anyway, really connecting with that vision and feeling all the feels and letting it be your reason to push harder, not an excuse to kind of give up. And another thing that I've been doing lately that's really helped is setting goals with my team. So not just like, oh, my goal is 6-star, so who's going diamond? When are you going diamond? But really being like, okay, what are your goals? What do you want to reach? What does diamond mean for you? And then once they say they hit diamond, then turning around and being like, okay, what's next? And then working with them to have those same conversations with their downline so that your entire team is constantly leveling up, and it feels better because you're all pushing towards big dreams together as opposed to feeling like they're all just pushing for your goal. And so all of the leaders really who helped us go into 6-star qual, they all have way bigger dreams, way bigger goals for themselves that they're pushing towards. They weren't just pushing towards diamond for me or for our team, but their own personal goals. And I just think it felt better. It was easier. And yeah, so pushing for goals together as opposed to like separately. And then message pods have been so huge. So I know we have like a leadership one with a team that we brainstorm and collab with. That's just been huge. Like having a bunch of running buddies. And then I have one with a lot of my building coaches that we can bounce ideas off from. And then I have a message pod with my new coaches. And so not only does it save you time, because I feel like you can send the same message in the message thread and everybody can get the information at the same time, but it also helps build that community, build those relationships amongst those people too. And community is really what keeps people around for the long haul in this, in coaching. So that's been working well. And then probably the most obvious tip, but is following a program and getting results. With 10 rounds, it's been a long time, I think, not since I've started and finished a program, but since I actually like found joy in one. And so that's just kind of another tip and reminder is if you're doing a program right now that you dread or that you hate, there are so many programs out there. Like ditch the one you're doing and go find one that is going to make you show up, is going to make you have fun, is going to get you those results. Because I feel like when you find a program that you're jiving with and that you're getting real results, your posts on social media are so much more authentic. You don't have to think, oh, what should I post today that's going to make somebody want to work out? Or what should I post today that's going to get somebody interested in this program I'm doing? You just lead from the heart. You just share your wins, you share your struggles. And it's just so much more authentic when you find a program that really is working well for you. Mosquito. Then also just like realizing that there are going to be busy times in your business, like busy seasons where if you're pushing towards a goal, life is going to be a little off balance. I know I say I have business hours, but when I am pushing for a big goal, I again communicate and say, I'm going to need you to help out a little bit more these next 6 weeks. Like me and my team are pushing for a really big goal, and it would be helpful if you could take Micah from this time too, or whatever. Just understanding that some seasons are going to be really busier and then others aren't, and just making sure that you're communicating with your family so that you're all on the same page. I have PTSD from the last time I went 5 stars, so I didn't make that mistake this time. And what else has been working really well for me? Oh, I know Kaylin and Shaylee both said the same thing, but the connection messages have been amazing. So sending out feel-good messages, especially during this time, especially around holidays, like it's so easy to send out, hey, I hope you had an amazing Memorial Day weekend. Did you do anything fun with your family? Or just something like, hey, just sending you good vibes. I know life is crazy right now. I hope you and your family are staying safe and sane. How are things going? Or something like that. I feel like for a while there, for whatever reason, I went away from like those relationship connection building messages. And they've just been so fun. Like the conversations I'm having, the relationships I'm building, they just feel better. Because I'm taking the time to really connect with them before I ever send them an invite. And if you haven't watched Micah Folsom's Instagram collections training on YouTube, definitely make sure you go and check that out because that has been huge for me. Not to get too into it, but it's basically like you can save a bunch of Instagram accounts to like one grouping in Instagram, and so that you can go there and be like, okay, these are all the people I've added this week that I want to make sure that I'm going to their pages and I'm loving on their stuff. I'm going to their store. It's so easy to be like, okay, I usually do it for a month. So I can go to everybody in May that I followed on Instagram who looked like I would jive with them, and I can go to there very quickly. I just go to that collection. I go watch all their stories. Maybe I love on some. Then I go to their posts, see if they made a previous post, and I like on them or comment on them. So when I'm doing the Instagram engagement part of my power hour or my daily work session, I easily can go locate those people, and I don't kind of lose track of anybody because I get to easily go and connect with all of them that way. So that's been huge. I feel like that's, oh, another thing that I think, I don't know if we've shared it in the team page, but Joan and Meg shared a bunch of emails that they've been sending out to customers and like BOD subscription renewals. It's like so genius, but I totally didn't realize you can go into your coach office and you can be like, okay, let me look at my subscriptions. Let me see which ones are coming up. And then if you see in a week, or I think I did it recently for the next few weeks to see if they have like the quarterly BOD, if they have the 6-month BOD or the annual BOD, and if it's getting ready to renew, I just send them a quick email, and we can probably add those emails in like the templates of the file section of Project Fearless or whatever. But those I've been getting a really great response on those because it's like, it's going to renew anyway, and all challenge packs are $20 off right now. So a lot of them are taking advantage of that deal by upgrading to a challenge pack. So that's been really helpful. And I feel like I haven't been paying attention to the chat, so I'll answer any of the questions at the end. But so those are kind of all the things that have really been working well for me lately, and I just wanted to spend the last little bit of the call talking about how to end the month strong. I know Joan gave some tips in the beginning, but even if you're at 0 Success Club points right now, don't feel like you can't end the month strong and get into Success Club, because like she said, there have been people who've literally signed 10 plus people in one day, and you have 6 entire days. You can totally lock in Success Club still. The first thing I would recommend is getting your mind right around it. Don't be like, oh crap, there's only 6 days. Like, what if I don't make Success Club? Who am I gonna reach out to? Like, don't lead with that like fear mentality or the lack mentality that you're not gonna connect with the right people. Just truly trust and believe that you can help 3 people within the next 24 hours. Like, it's totally possible. You are sitting on an amazing solution, and all of the packs are $20 off. And anytime that there's a sale, I feel like I lead even more confidently or more unapologetically about what we have, because it's like, don't those people out there who need this solution, like, don't they deserve to get it at a discounted price? So you don't need a flash sale to lead with that. Like, all the packs are $20 off right now. So I want to message as many people as humanly possible between now and the end of the month, even though I'm in Success Club already, because I want them to be able to take advantage of this amazing sale. And so I lead with that excitement, and I just trust that, like, why wouldn't they say yes? Why wouldn't they want this solution in their life? I think about how much this has changed my life, how good I feel, how energetic I feel, and just leading with that excitement before you sit down and respond. Like, don't sit down and be like, oh shit, I have to message a bunch of people, they're probably gonna say no, because if you do that, they probably will say no. So get your mind right around it. Truly believe that you can make Success Club. Kind of work from a joyful place. Like, go to your favorite spot in your house, turn on music, drink some Energize before you do it, which I don't know why I'm doing this at 9:30. That was stupid. But just work from a joyful place, and I feel like you will lock in Success Club. But no, obviously you can't just get your mind right and then it all happens. You have to take action, right? So be proof the product works, and recognize your journey or recognize somebody else's. So what I always do the last week of the month, if I haven't locked in Success Club yet, is post a before and after picture. And if you don't have one of your own, ask somebody on the team if you can share one of theirs, and really dig deep to like, how did you feel before Beachbody? What has changed? How do you feel now? And you can also create urgency. So say you only have 3 spots left, or offer an incentive, maybe some Energize or something like that, to really create that urgency and incentivize them to lock it in before the end of the month. And so while you're waiting for all the likes and traction to roll in on that post, the power is always in the follow-up. So while you're waiting to reach out to all those people with invites, you can also create a list of every single person that you've ever talked to, go from the bottom up, or any tracking system that you're using. I still use pen and paper, so I literally sometimes will just go grab old notebooks and like flip through those and message random people that I've chatted with before but maybe haven't gotten started. You can go to past Snoop groups, you can go to sneak peeks, challenge groups, even, you know how you have memories in your Facebook, go to your memories, look who was liking your post a year ago from now, send them messages, go look who's online right now. You can even go like alphabetically through your entire friends list and see who you haven't invited yet. There are so many people out there for you to help. Not only do you have Facebook, but you also have Instagram where you can do the same things. Also exporting a customer list from Beachbody, then you can go and send them out an email, or you can private message them. That's also a source. But so follow up, and then with that, invite. So if you've already followed up with every single person you ever talked to, then go talk to people that you haven't. Set a goal and just keep inviting, and don't think of like, oh, what if they say yes, or what if they say no, or what if they don't answer me. Just send out the invite, and well, I don't know where that train of thought went, but anyway. Utilize text replacement. So that's something like when I want to send out a lot of invites, but I'm like, don't want Facebook to block me or anything like that. I have an invite already saved in my text replacement to send out to everybody. And so I can just press like donut 1 or something like that and send the same message to multiple people. And yeah, I guess just to end it on understanding that it's a numbers game. And if you are at 0 right now, don't expect to lock in Success Club by only reaching out to like 5 people a day. If you really, really want this, know it's a numbers game and that you need to be reaching out to a lot of people between now and the end of the month to lock in Success Club if that's your goal and you're at 0 right now. Kind of, you just have to 10x whatever your normal inviting looks like and 10x that, and I'm sure you will lock in Success Club. But if anybody wants to share their invites in the chat, that might be helpful for some of the newer coaches to kind of know what we're inviting. But I wrote down a couple just to share. 2 is just like, hey girl, I hope all is well. No idea if this is something that would interest you or not, but I want to throw it out there just in case. My team is getting ready to host another online accountability group for June for anyone looking for some extra support to reach their health and fitness goals. Any interest in learning more? Or, hey girl, not sure if you saw my post, but my June boot camp just launched and I'm so stoked. It's going to be so motivating and fun. We'll be focusing on self-love while making healthy lifestyle choices and getting fit. I've got 3 spots left and I thought of you. Any health and fitness goals you're looking to reach? And so those are just some of the invites that I've been sending out lately. My brain. Does anybody have any questions or anything?
You rocked it, Katie. Tammy said, how do you help all your coaches and not get overwhelmed with that? And then just some questions like, do you have weekly calls, or do you set goals with them together at once, or do you do one-on-ones? So yeah, chat a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I think how I help all my coaches without getting overwhelmed is definitely 1, the message pods, having a lot of my builders around the same rank or the same level in the business, because if one person asks a question, chances are another person has the same question, and that just saves me time from having to answer the same question over and over. We do have weekly team calls that are more just kind of open, come if you have questions, or we'll work together kind of team calls. And also voice message is like such a time saver. Not having to type everything out, but just sending them a quick voice message has been helpful. But yeah, I don't look at it as overwhelming because I get so much energy from working with building coaches that everyone's always like, oh, I'm sorry, you must get so annoyed of me asking all the questions. It's like, no, it pumps me up. It gets me excited because it's fun to work with people who are running with you. So
I think Katie makes a really good, sorry, I just got distracted. People are like hooting and hollering out on a boat out there. Anyways, so I think Katie makes a really good point there, though. Like she just said, like she gets energized because of her builders asking questions. And so if you feel like you've signed builders and then it's sucking your will to live and it's sucking your time and you're feeling overwhelmed, it may be because you're trying to push people to build that aren't really building. Because that's the other thing, is realizing that as coaches, one of the best things we can do to help our team is just be running ourselves, showing up every single day ourselves, and pointing out all the resources that we have, because this team has like a bazillion resources at its disposal. So really not your job to like make people work. So remind yourself of that, but just creating opportunities. Like Katie puts a call together for power hours. She puts pods together so they can message and ask questions. So it's more about creating the opportunities for them to learn rather than like trying to constantly like, are you doing this yet? Are you doing this yet? Like that sort of thing. Also, Katie, other question. How do you keep everything separate or organized with pen and paper? I have trouble keeping track of combos I've got going on, invites with responses, follow-ups, all those things. So share your ways.
I mean, same. But no, I just every day, like I will take out my piece of paper and I'll write the date at the top, and then I'll write down a lot of what I track is really just my invite. So I'll just number the page on both sides, and then that's typically what I shoot for to reach out to. But if your goal is to message 20 people or 30 people or whatever it is, I just write the date at the top and then number my paper, and that's how I kind of track it. So then in a couple of days, if I want to follow up, I do kind of use Messenger. But a way that I try not to lose everybody is like within a few days, or at least by the end of the week, I go back to the beginning of my last 7 sheets of paper, and I just look and make sure that I've messaged everybody or followed up with everybody that I sent a message to. So that's how
Are
I
you
do it.
also doing anything like keeping a hot list, like maybe like highlighting those that like actually responded back to you, and at the end of the night, like putting the ones you're in conversation with, like on an in playlist or anything like that?
Yes, definitely the hot list. So anybody who really even responds, I kind of move over to that hot list, and I probably have like 3 hot lists going at all times, like really, really hot or hot list or kind of cold list. No, but definitely hot list.
Maybe a warm list. Yeah, and I think that too, like I, guys, for the first 4 years of my business, I did pen and paper. So even as a 10-star, pen and paper. And yes, will you lose track of people? Mm-hmm. You will. You'll go to a message to somebody and be like, oh shit, they wrote back to me. Whoops. But it's not perfect, but if that's what you are comfortable with, then do it. I do always recommend, no matter how you're tracking, whether it be through like a spreadsheet or Teamsy or Asana or whatever, keeping that hot list, because I do think that there is something about like pen on paper and having those names in front of you all the time. And I actually get like a lot of joy creating that hot list like every day and like rewriting those names down. Like there's something really like fun about it. So it's like a reminder, like these people are interested in what I do. Like, so it's a good like vibe thing. What else? Anybody else? Questions? You can unmute yourselves too and just toss them out there. Also, if you look in the chat, people dropped their scripts, and I kind of just summarized like what Katie was saying in order to do for reaching Success Club last minute. And then I put the links in there as well to the collections call that she referred to that Micah did. Any other questions? Katie, you're going to go to sleep at like 2 a.m.
It's fine.
Pound guys at 10 o'clock at night.
I don't know why I thought it was like 8:30, but I'm like, no, calls at 9. Damn.
Anything else? Who's in Success Club? Raise your hand.
Raise your hand, Amanda. Ananda.
I dig it. Oh, Amanda, raise your hand. Dig it. All right. Who will be in Success Club? All right. All you people that just went like this, like, maybe me, like, fuck that. Put your freaking hand up, because if you went, maybe me, that means like your effort's going to be like, maybe me, which means you're not getting in Success Club. So let's just be real honest, folks. Like, put your fucking hand up and be like, she just told me what to do. I know what to do. I can find people. It's all up to me. Because I will tell you that if I wasn't in Success Club right now, damned COVID or not, I would be at the grocery store like, here's a new mask for you. Also, would you like to sign up? Here's a freaking gift card. Go sign up. Like, so you can make it happen. Uncle Charlie, someone. Yes, Jess, but not your Charlie, like Uncle Charlie. Uncle Charlie. All right. Any other questions, you guys? How you feeling about qualifications so far, Katie?
Pretty good for week 2. I'll let you know on Thursday.
Good, I dig it. I dig it. I don't want to hear from you on Thursday. I don't want to hear from you 3 weeks from now. All right, guys. Well, if nobody else has questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up so you can all go and get in the club if you're not there yet, or just help more people. And I will drop this call on the team page very shortly. Have an awesome night, guys.